This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. Rolf Gerritsen, the CEO of MetalNRG, is with us today. Now, today, Rolf, we're going to take a little look at the business model that you're following with what are known as SPVs, that's Special Purpose Vehicles. Can you explain the SPV model and how it fits into your vision at MetalNRG?
Morning, Mark. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Rolf.
Good. Look, the Special Purpose Vehicle, SPV, is really about three fundamental things. First is to protect shareholders from dilution at group level. Second is to ensure financial protection. And third, which is probably the most important for us at an operating level, is that you can dedicate specific management to an asset that is exclusively focused on driving forward that asset. That makes sure that you've got the resources in place to progress that particular project. And it doesn't create, or you're not trying to use the same resources to run 5 or 6 different projects. You've got very dedicated people running specific SPVs. And it also allows us down the line some additional flexibility because you can look at spinning off, but you can also bring in other investors to increase the number of shareholders at the SPV level to drive forward that particular project or a particular program that you're working towards with that special purpose vehicle.
Okay, so maybe it's a little bit different to what people are used to with companies having direct projects. Is there another company that follows a similar business model that we can compare to?
Yeah, there's a number of companies, both listed on AIM and listed on main market that use special purpose vehicles to put a project in and manage the project accordingly. So there's a number of them, literally. We're not unique. It's far from unique. We're not inventing something new. We're doing what many others do, and it's standard and common practice, I would suggest. We're making a little bit of a thing about it because it allows us to, I believe, punch over our weight.
Okay, good. Now, some recent news I've seen from the company is your buys on market. That's always a big show of confidence when the CEO is buying on market. Why have you bought more, Rolf?
Well, first, I bought because I firmly believe that at the moment, as I've said to you in a number of instances, the price is an absolute bargain, and it's a perfect opportunity to acquire at a very low level. And I believe that there's a lot of upside, not only with the existing projects, but also with additional opportunities that we're looking at. So it's really looking at it from an investor's point of view and saying, the price is low, now is a good time, yes, and therefore I bought on market.
Okay, well, it's good to hear the CEO recognise that the company is undervalued, and it's a good opportunity to buy some shares at this point. And talking about getting a shares at bargain price, what are the plans to grow the company? Of course, you have released some news on your EQTech transaction. That's the waste to energy plant where you've reached financial close. So, yeah, what can you update us on across the company?
Look, EQTech, we announced financial close. We've invested 700,000 euros. That will give us 26.66% of the Italian SPV that will be operating the plant. The plant will be producing roughly 2 million euros of revenue and will have about 750,000 euros in EBITDA. That means that MetalNRG on an annual basis, once in production, will be receiving somewhere in the neighborhood of 200,000 euros per annum. Not huge, but it all helps avoid having to go back to market to raise more funds. In terms of additional opportunities, as I had announced previously, when we entered the strategic partnership with EQTech, the idea is to look at shovel-ready projects that we can co-invest in and help and participate in. So there's a number that are being looked at that we're working on together. So again, going through the process and understanding the requirements, and there might be more coming there. Goldridge, there's work ongoing on site. Goldridge being the gold mine in Arizona. It's a little warm out there at the moment. It's if you look at the temperatures in Arizona, you're talking 55 degrees. So to be on site is not ideal from a health and safety perspective. So we're doing a lot of the desk analysis work, and we're working towards updating the presentation that we have on Goldridge, and we should have something completed by probably end of July, that will give us a new perspective. And then as soon as the temperatures go back down a little bit, we'll be back in the field carrying out the sampling and exercise on site, and that will feed into additional news flow, which I would expect to be coming through between now and November.
Okay.
We then have MetalNRG. Pierpaolo and myself gave an operational update on the first 100 days. Things are going very well. We've reduced costs. We've unblocked one of the wells, and therefore production has gone up a little bit as well. So we're happy how things are progressing there. It's being put on a stable footing. One of the most important aspects is to really build a solid relationship with the regulators. And I think Pierpaolo has done, and his team have done a very good job on that. And there's work to be done to continue improving on that, but I think they've made a good start. And again, we've always said we're looking at it as a platform for other opportunities, and again, that's something we're doing, and it's an ongoing process.
Okay.
So lots going on. News flow, I would expect, over the next 3-4 months, quite a bit of news flow coming through from us.
Okay, that's good to hear. I do think I see what you're doing at MetalNRG. You're getting revenue-generating projects across the energy and precious metal space into special purpose vehicles with their own management teams. Where do you think we might see the first bit of revenue come from the projects, and when can investors maybe start to see some numbers?
Look, the numbers in terms of the SPVs, MetalNRG is producing revenue at the SPV level. They're profitable. We'll see whether or not that converts into some sort of a dividend into group. But that's too early to say, because there are growth plans that we're working on there. Goldridge, there's a process that we have to go through. SRK completed the competent persons report update for the prospectus. That has told us that there is possibly a larger opportunity than just going after the waste dumps. And more importantly, what they told us is if you go after the waste dumps, you might prevent yourself from going after some of the other opportunities. And therefore, look at establishing the other opportunities before and develop an integrated plan for everything. And when I say everything, we're looking at open pitable opportunities, and we're looking at how best to turn into economic benefit the waste dumps that are there. So it's putting a package together, and we'll have a much better picture on that by November. EQTech, we are all about recommissioning, or EQTech is leading the consortium, and they are operationally recommissioning the plant and bringing it up to speed and up to date, and applying some additional technologies that they have. And we are working towards getting that operational or back into operation around Q2 of 2022. And then that will feed into some revenue producing. So I'm not giving you specific dates yet, because it depends a little bit on making sure that we get all of our developments in place, and that will give us a clearer picture on the timing of when those revenues come in. I think, though, the bus that we're on is that bus of generating revenue, or projects that are close to generating revenue, that will allow us over time to start paying back to investors and making it a different proposition than just a cash burning company.
Okay. Well, Rolf Gerritsen, the CEO of MetalNRG, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you for listening to this Stockbox interview. For more information, interviews and videos, visit our website at stockboxmedia.com or give us a follow on Twitter by searching @StockboxMedia.